Hello everyone. I'm Pääkkönen from National Library of Finland, and I think that I'm probably the oldest one here, so it's nice to be in Paris, and thanks for inviting us to give the presentation, so in that sense. Okay, some background about the National Library of Finland. We have been founded 1640. Then we were a kind of Turku Academy in the western coast of Finland, and since then the various historical events have moved the library, and currently we are at the University of Helsinki, one of the biggest independent institutes there. And what our work kind of consists, so we have 3 units that do the tasks of the National Library of Finland. So we have Research Library, Center for Digitization and Conservation, where I am from, and then we have the library network services that help all the general libraries in Finland. And if you want to know more, there's this kansalliskirjasto.fi website where there are more information of what's happening there. And we have quite mature digitization workflow already, so that's where our tool evaluation was mainly that how to find some improvements and ways to get some things done better than in the current tools. And actually something about our materials, so we do all kind of digitization. So we have books, newspapers, journals, ephemera, maps, so basically anything you can imagine. So one of our main focuses in the evaluation was to pick correct test data that we would use, like you were saying in the first presentation. So the test data selection was one of the most time-consuming things for us. So the first case was this DeskCure tool, which was kind of it straightens up the newspaper images that you have scanned there. And our test data was newspaper pages from years 1889 to 1909, and the idea was to get very various kinds of materials, so Finnish, Swedish languages, and to cover these both Fraktur and Antiqua fonts. For example, Fraktur is quite complex and it's kind of the old font, and all the OCR text recognition engine have bit problems with that. And then one idea was also to cover different kind of column amounts, because in the oldest newspapers there's only one column, and then it has increased throughout the years. And here you can see some of the samples that we used for that. Okay. Then the second use case was this corrector tool with the segmentation service. So there the idea was that we have the newspaper pages that we could send for the segmentation service for the post-processing analysis, and then they provided back us to the XML files with the formats and articles marked. And then the corrector tool was the key role there to kind of give possibilities to fix up these articles and then do the post-processing properly there. And here also we did some kind of lots of work with this test data analysis. So if I remember right, these are part of the ground truth material of the NLF. So if anyone wants to use them, these are available in the websites of Succeed or Impact, if I remember right. And here also the variation is, so I think the oldest one is this from 1830, and then the newest is from 1907. So we try to keep the test data in the copyright-free range. Okay, then something about our evaluation results. So the DeskCure, which was the straightening tool, so I started to like about that very much. So it is a command line tool, so it is very easy to integrate to any workflow. So if you have some kind of digitization workflow, then you can call this. And it was very easy to use. So there was one basic thing that the tool was targeted to be used for, and it was good for that. And it was possible to use in all kind of automation workflows also. One thing was that we started to desire from that tool was that to get a bit more kind of parameters, maybe to control the tool using a bit. So because in some of our test cases the desk queuing went the wrong way and the pictures tilted totally incorrectly. So somehow having some verbose parameters to help in that ones. And then other thing is this having a bit more verbose output, because we also include in the METS data the long-term preservation data of what changes has been done to the newspaper pages earlier. So in that sense, it would be really crucial to know that okay, this kind of tool has done this kind of straightening. So including that to the page would be quite good. And here, well, it's really small in the picture, but anyway, we could get actually, with the image processing, quite much improvements here, at least. And then for the other tool, so the corrector tool, after we got the materials from the segmentation, it took like 4 to 19 minutes, on average 10 minutes to get the articles fixed there. I think the most complex cases were these, that there were some books, for example, in the newspaper page, so those were something that the segmentation didn't get correctly, and those had to be fixed manually. And then our digitization production, the Digikansalliskirjasto Fi website relies lots of in this Metsalto usage when getting the material from the production and getting out it to the public. So corrector tool doesn't have this Metsalto support, so that's quite crucial point for us. So it's some kind of mapping or conversions would be needed for that. Then corrector also for us, it seemed to require bits of its own process and workflow development. So our current tools have this kind of support for multiple operators and all kind of practical things that help the work of the digitization all the time, because our production goals are like several millions of pages for newspapers a year, for example. So then the corrector might not be totally in that level yet. And what we started to wonder in the process of doing the evaluation is that what kind of service levels of segmentation and tools itself there are. So there were quite good documentation, but in again that we had a couple of pages that never came out from the segmentation process. So it was kind of that, is it the material thing or is there something other thing there to be done? So in that sense, so those were the things. But anyway, it was very good evaluation, and I think that we learned a lot. And also because we had the opportunity to use, for example, the OCR evaluation tool and Aletheia in the middle. So it's kind of, we accidentally, I guess, evaluated a bit more tools than we originally estimated. But these were the two ones that we checked for. And I guess that if you want to know more, the evaluation reports are somewhere available. So.
We will make them available.
Okay, so there's.
Participating libraries to be able to produce the evaluation forms, and then it will be available for everybody. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, but that's for my part. So I will be hanging around here. So if you want to know more, so you can ask. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.